Yo,
Hello and welcome back to Patch Notes. I am here. I'm Tom. I am here with some people from the long week. We have Isaac and we have Harvey.
yeah,
Yeah, what's
hello,
going on?
hello.
How are you guys doing?
Doing good. It's
Yeah,
deadline season, so busy, but
yeah,
I can imagine. What other deadlines have you been working on recently?
portfolio pieces.
Portfolio.
yeah. The portfolio
Did
piece
you
as
get
well.
did you get
I think
yours done
everyone's
last
working
night?
on
Oh, yeah, 2 a.m., baby.
2 a.m.
2 a.m.
it. Is it good
Sometime.
though? You happy
Oh,
with
you
it?
know.
No, yeah,
No, you know, yes, I think
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Everyone's a bit tortured right now
I can
though. in
imagine.
the
It's
torture
that
mode.
kind of time of year when Christmas is like just around the corner, and you want
Mm,
to go home for Christmas, but
yeah,
you're like, yeah, you got to think about these
Right.
yeah. It's
deadlines
a
and
bit
stuff.
nightmarish. I'm not sure anyone has been able to work on the team project in like months or weeks. It's
Yeah.
been a bit.
Well, let's not say months. We're on the podcast for the team
This
project.
is true. This is true. This is true. I take it back. We're doing lots and lots of work every day, all day.
So much, all you're doing is work. You don't even sleep.
Exactly,
You're just
exactly.
No, absolutely.
Exactly.
All day, every day. And when I get into bed, I just get a Discord call with Harvey, and we just sit there programming.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, all
we dream of gaming and making games all night long as well. Never ends.
Aren't you making like 10 games at once? You're just always making games.
Yeah,
Go.
constantly.
God.
So, speaking of games,
Mm.
tell us a little bit about the long week. What is the long week? What's it all about?
Would you like to pitch for us?
Absolutely, sure. So the long week, it's a little bit of a complicated one to describe, but I think the best way to describe it is a spatial kind of like puzzle game. So if you've heard of games like Antichamber, similar to games such as that, where you're kind of dealing with non-Euclidean geometry, if you're not sure what that is, essentially just think geometry in spaces which, quite frankly, just don't make sense.
Yeah.
So, and then beyond that, it's also, we're going suspense, a bit horror-y, and we're digging into like Jungian archetypes and psychoanalytical stuff, but that's really then more Harvey's area and weird.
Yeah, well, a little bit, but we're
So
Okay,
what do you?
Harvey's,
So,
yeah.
for example, Harvey, what's your role on this?
so I'm an
team?
environment artist. So my actual job is to make the buildings, the house. I'm modeling the house and texturing it with
What do
Owen, our
you
other
What do
environment
you
artist.
use? For example, what
So
software?
we use Maya for the modeling, just like the industry standard
Yeah.
version of Blender, and then we'll use the Substance softwares for
nice.
texturing, so Painter, Sampler, and Designer, and then we're making the game in Unity, so we'll import it all into Unity, and then our Wizard, level designer, game designer, and program do all the work there. Yeah,
And what's your main key role for this?
That's a fantastic question.
you're like everything.
Yeah, you're just
every man.
literally the voice, the everything.
I think we kind of like describe him best as like producer.
Yeah.
I get my fingers in like all the pies. Like I'm not great at art, but I help the artist with getting the right things underway, making sure we're working on the right things. Because especially as we're doing quite a clashing art style, we're a team of 7 artists. We've got
Wow.
1 designer, me, 1 programmer, Oliver, 1 esports student, and
Yeah.
then 7 artists. So
Crazy. So, would you say like art is kind of
it's very fundamental.
yeah?
Yeah,
If there's 7 of you, there's you could all kind of chip in and make working it pretty well.
100%. And our game's based off the Psychedelia brief, as when we were choosing these art, or when we were choosing our team,
Yeah.
we were brought together via what brief we wanted to start on. And there are a few different ones like arcade games and stuff, but our group was brought together by the Psychedelia brief. And I think having an art heavy team is very useful for that. You obviously want to get that same feeling of almost disorientation within the gameplay, but simultaneously the art's such a big part and it's what captures so many people's first.
No, definitely. I
impression.
think like obviously visuals is like in a game is one of the most important things to kind of get right, because you can have everything like sounding good and the gameplay is good, but I think if it looks poop, for example, or anything like that, then that kind of it's like the same with us. Like we could have really good like quality in cameras and we could look really professional, but and the lighting is good, but as soon as we speak, if our mics or if we don't sound well, that's when people will be like, no, I don't want to listen anymore because it just sounds rubbish.
Absolutely, especially with our game being kind of like horror suspense, making sure all the different aspects essentially are executed and done properly. We're keeping our scope small and tight so we can execute everything as well as we can.
Yeah.
Because when you're trying to build a sense of tension, it's a bit like filling a balloon slowly. And like if one thing goes wrong, if you've got a bug or if the visual style doesn't really match the story you're trying to tell, it's like you've just popped the balloon and all the tension's gone. So
yeah.
that's also one of the challenges of creating, more suspenseful game, is trying to build that tension and also make sure that all the different facets and parts are working in tandem.
So other inspiration of games
Oh, let me.
do
We've
you
got a
guys
slide
have?
for you,
Yeah, let me go
actually,
through
yeah.
here.
Oh wow.
Glad you are.
Oh God,
We've
why are
got-
we getting a
Do you
video
know what?
going?
Actually, we'll go.
We'll show you the inspirations first,
yeah.
and we'll go
Yeah.
back a little bit. Here we go. Yeah. So, do you want to jump on this one a little bit?
Yeah, so we talked a lot about Silent Hill as one of our main inspirations. I think because a lot of the team likes the horror aspect quite a bit, and also the kind of janky PS2 graphics we were thinking a lot about as well. And also narrative ideas. I haven't played Silent Hill, but everyone's talking about the narrative of Silent Hill and how it's similar to our game. And lots of dreamy, acidy David Lynch stuff as well. Twin Peaks is a big one as well that you've mentioned quite a bit.
But
I
like,
can't stop mentioning it, to be
Resident
honest.
Evil, for example, because I think Resident Evil 2, for example, that kind of, by the way, these inspirations and like what I can visualize in my head, I think Resident Evil 2 is also a potential, could be in like, that sounds familiar
Yeah,
to your kind of
100%.
game.
Less so with like the combat like Resident Evil 2, but I think it's very similar, especially because our whole game takes place within just a house.
Yeah.
Potentially as a stretch goal, there might be a garden. There might be
Yeah.
a few leaves and
Might be
stuff.
the outside.
But for the most part, the game takes place entirely within the house. It's meant to be a representation of the player's mind. So that's why we're taking a look at things like Silent Hill, where the narrative of the game is essentially a representation of the character's mind. Similarly, Twin Peaks is just a lot of really trippy like sequences, and it's all very weird. And Resident Evil's a good example because of how you're learning to navigate through a space and you're becoming familiar with it while unlocking new parts of it.
Yeah,
So
no.
that is a very good example.
No, cool.
And then you have also the Dream emulator game.
Oh,
That's
yes.
In terms of visuals, it's kind of the standard we're looking for in terms of a balance of absurd and wacky, and a bit
Yes.
creepy as well.
If you're not familiar, I believe it's called LSD Dream Simulator. As I recall, I believe it was one of the first 3D games which came out, like when games started pivoting from 2D to 3D. And so it really works with the technical limitations of the era. And I'm gonna be honest, I love it. Harvey and I will sit there just watching bits of it, and like there's this one intro which I adore. But the point is, it's a great game, and it really does show, as Harvey mentioned, how you balance those limitations with what you're trying to tell, because it doesn't have. When you bring up tripping and psychedelia, you typically think of the walls breathing and like feeling like you're at one with everything, which is something we want to work with. But simultaneously, and I'm trying to remember what I was going to say because my mind just went blank.
Horror. People love horror.
They do. They love horror.
What's your favorite horror game?
Oh, actually, you probably said it. Resident Evil 2.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
What kind of like what do you look for in like a horror game? Like do you, because I actually really enjoy like indie horror games because they just really jump scary, and I like the kind of puzzle as well. Whereas I like Resident Evil, but if I had to choose, I probably actually would go for more like indie horror games rather than like AAA. If that makes sense.
Have you heard of Franbo?
Of what, sorry?
Franbo. It's like
No.
a puzzle adventure.
Is it? I'm assuming it's
narration game.
indie. Like an indie game.
Yeah, I think
don't
it
know
is.
actually, but it was it's an old game. But that's also another big inspiration.
Yeah.
And it's
Do you wanna? So you could honestly
Yeah.
just kind of grab it and just move it
Yank.
a little bit. Like, yeah, go.
There we go.
yeah, Franbo. Amazing game. Also a big inspiration of ours. But I think I was going to say with horror, it's hard to make a game actually scary and not just silly. And we're trying to make it.
Bit of both.
Yeah, we're
Bit of
trying to
both.
find a balance between whimsy and.
Because like, how do you
horror,
want
yeah.
players when they're playing this game? How do you want them to feel? Like, do you want them to be like scared, or do you want them to kind of like also have fun at the same time?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. We do want an element of suspense,
Yeah.
but it's not really a game where you're going to go. You go around a corner and suddenly jump scare. Ah, sorry, listeners. But no, it's like as much as they do have a place in games. We want that sense of suspense while then kind of subverting that with some cute aesthetics, and also because it's sort of psychedelics, we're leaning and looking at mindfulness and the different aspects of the psyche. And we want people to a game where you are having fun, you're going around, you're having to kind of go, mind my French, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but where the fuck am I meant to be going?
what's going on?
Yeah, like simultaneously you want a bit of a where am I going, what am I doing, and then
Yeah, it's
simultaneously.
a thinker out game. You have to you'll finish it and you'll go
yeah, and also just a bit of reflection.
Yeah.
Exactly. Use it to it may not necessarily speak to your situation, but it's meant to reflect someone's psyche and how we all have parts of ourselves we push down. If you're familiar with Jungian archetypes, the shadow is a very good example of kind of the parts of our body and our psyche we kind of push down, the things we're not proud of and happy about and who we are.
Yeah.
But to be real, you have to have a shadow. If you don't cast a shadow, are you truly material? Now that's the question.
That's true.
Oh my god.
I never thought about that before.
I know.
Crazy.
That's podcast
Is there
talk.
anything? Is there anything you guys like the gameplay footage you guys want to show us, or any
Yeah.
clips, or just?
I can
What's
show you a
the-
little video of this was for our pitch we did about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And this is a little example of our non-Euclidean geometry. So again, non-Euclidean geometry. Think of it as geometry. It doesn't make sense. There's no audio here, so
No, it's fine.
we'll just
Can do a little
slowly talk over it.
talk over, yeah.
So is it made in Unity?
Yes, this is made in Unity. Kind of just to show how the spaces might function and how different puzzles take place. So as you make your way into some rooms, other rooms will activate and appear behind you. These spaces start to make sense less and less. As out this window you've got eyes, but the other you don't. You can still see the kitchen, but then you walk back and now there's a bedroom where the pantry was.
And it's upside down.
Exactly. It's
What's
a weird
happening?
mirror. So this is all like a tech demo, and obviously as we get more art and assets in, this will start to look a little bit cleaner and nicer. But this is essentially
Yeah.
just to show how it will all execute. And when we're doing our investor pitch in January, we'll have a more
Built
built version of this to
polished. Yeah.
give an even better impression of what's going to happen. As
nice.
a big part is as you're walking around the house as well, you're going to interact with objects which are animate. They can talk to you, and some of them are going to look almost really grotesque. And I can find some of the art on these.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, can I get out of this? There we go. Cool. So yeah. So for instance, here we have a humanoid lamp made by Alex,
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
It's phenomenal.
And I'm just trying to find. It's been a few days since I've looked at this slideshow.
This Kai's
Here we go.
clock here.
Kai's clock. Oh, I don't think it is.
No.
This is sadly. a little
Wow.
bit
So who
before that.
drew this artwork?
This was Alex as well.
Alex.
Yes.
So Alex is one of our character artists.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. And
Our
we-
artists are really talented.
Yeah, because we've
some
got
of them.
a
It's
really nice
crazy.
split as well on our team. So
Yeah.
obviously we've already mentioned like the non-artist, but so we've got Harvey, who's environment art, along with Owen. Then on character art, we've got Alex and Kai. Kai made this model here.
Yeah.
And then we've got 3 concept artists, Will, Jazzy, and Elliot. Elliot's created some of these, which are going to, not to spoil too much, are going to play a fairly large role in the game. And as are these, they all slowly get built in and
Yeah.
included. But yeah, and I'll just quickly flick through because most of these are
Yeah,
just
yeah.
assets and stuff we're
I
using.
like it.
Um,
What's your related to the artwork? What's your guys' like favorite art you have, or a concept, or the game, or
Oh,
Will's
no,
done some really good
yeah,
environment
I-
concept arts. These ones are great too.
Yeah.
because I don't think I don't think I've seen these. Or if I have, I don't remember them. But like these really do,
Yeah.
honestly, look really
This
good.
was Alex too, right?
yeah. This is Alex.
Yeah,
If-
he
if,
nailed the creepiness. It's so good.
if it's done by hand, it's usually Alex.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
tends to be the rule. Yeah, so we've Kai's also made out this telephone now, which sadly we don't have the picture of, but it looks fucking gruesome.
It's really
really
creepy.
good.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
But yeah, so here's some of the concept art that Will's made, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
This I think really helps paint the image of what the house is going to look like, what the experience is aesthetically going to look like.
Yeah.
Especially as the house we're basing off is based off a house I grew up off. Sorry about my phone. Oh my god, get muted.
It's all right, am I?
But it's based off the house I grew up in, which was this strange Victorian terrace down like southeast England, and it just had a lot of very strange, weird quirks, which I thought for a game like this would be very useful. And I'm also doing the level design, so
Yeah.
I guess
How are you
make
finding
what you know. Right?
How are you finding level design?
I love it. It's
do.
I come from a tabletop background, so for me, I really care about like narrative design and how every facet of the game comes into the story you're trying to tell.
Yeah.
And that obviously addresses art, but simultaneously with level design, there's so much narrative which is included and can be forgotten about just within the level design and what's an almost non-verbal narrative communication. So for me,
Yeah.
I love telling those stories.
What are you most excited about? Like, for example, actually, scratch the question. Where do you see your game in like February, for example, when we have when we next speak to you guys? So in February, where do you hope to kind of see your game or
There
anything
with
like
the
that?
greats. It's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
one of the greatest games of all time.
People are going to say Disco Elysium, The Long Week, same caliber.
Yes.
But I think realistically where we're going to be is we're going to because we're getting a lot of pieces done now, we're almost just preparing to get everything in.
Yeah.
Because we're also so heart heavy, there's only so much you can really do
No,
before
yeah,
art's
yeah.
done. I think by that point here you can see what Will's working on is a animation for like our intro screen or like our main menu, where when you press play, your character will take these pills, and that will be the start of your
Your trip.
yeah, exactly. And as this is being worked on now, and it's going to be hopefully finished by January, we're going to have more pieces of art done by then. The level design will be updated as we got some feedback in our last pitch, I suppose, or last feedback session. Essentially, just hopefully by that point, we're going to have a more wholly telling story or build showing what the game's going to look like at the end with characters you can talk to, sprites, animations, a wholly nice animated intro screen, and hopefully wall textures and stuff like that. And it will start coming into its own.
What's the biggest challenge you guys have had so far?
Ooh.
Like it could be anything just related to
I think it must be either different art styles or the different interpretations of what we're doing. I think
Yeah.
for me, I was quite heavy on the narrative ideas of the game, and I was really adamant to try and shoehorn in Jungian archetypes as an idea. And so I was
you can literally give it a pull.
Yeah.
I know it's a little bit stiff,
Not a
but
very good guy.
it will move.
there we go. Hello.
No, it is annoying. I do apologize. No, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I was just saying, I was really big on the Jungian archetypes idea, and I was trying my absolute hardest to explain it to people in a way that made sense to gamers, and it's quite hard to get across to a lot of people. And that combined with the different perspectives everyone has on psychedelics and their own experiences with it, it's quite hard to have a cohesive idea and bring it all together in something that makes sense. It's a bit.
So what is in what like a sentence? What is the main goal of the game? Just to
explore the house, which is changing around you
and synthesize yourself.
yes,
to
to-
individuate and become one with yourself.
as you'll interact with these archetypes around the house. For instance, like the consuming mother or the absent father or the scared child. And these are representations of the character's psyche, not necessarily yours, but the character's psyche. And to come to terms with this character's kind of like history and past. And some of it will be kind of left up for you to kind of like work out and question yourself, but some of it will be a little bit more clear. But it's to come to terms with this character's psyche and explore this strange changing space, which you've kind of got to learn the rules of, as it doesn't follow our rules of physics.
Yeah.
when you compare your work, for example, which you guys made in first year, compared to like now, what are you most proud of, like personal stuff that you've made, even if it's not related to this project? Is that, do you feel like you guys have come quite you've come along? Like for example,
Yeah.
Isaac, you started off in writing,
Yes.
didn't you?
Oh,
And then
did
now
you? I
you
didn't
moved
know
on
that.
to
Yes.
you now moved on to
Design.
design.
Yes, so I pivoted from first year in from writing to design, as you said, and personally, it's kind of going into that tabletop thing again, where I really care about narrative design, and as much as I care about telling a story, my passion itself isn't writing the story; it's making sure that every part of it really works together. And
Fits well.
yeah, and over the few years, and having switched from writing to design, and then just working with different teams and finding a team who, quite frankly, I think gets along really. Like we've got quite a good team.
Yeah.
Like we feel quite cracked. I feel quite lucky. Go to team.
Yeah, lovely,
But
yeah.
yeah, no, I think
Isn't there a team that's got like they're going for like a triple A kind
yes, there's I believe there's a AAA brief. I'm not sure who's doing it.
Neither.
I don't know if actually anyone did, because I know some of the teams were small. We were on the larger side of teams. We started at 14 and went down to 10.
of? Wow.
But I know realistically with the AAA one, you're wanting about 10 people plus. So it makes it a bit difficult. But it is an interesting one. And I heard there was also a brief from Rockstar out.
Yeah, I
really?
don't know.
Yes.
about that, but-
Yeah, there was a brief that we could have worked on from working. I believe it would have been within GTA 5, but I may be wrong about that. For essentially a student-made DLC. And I know that was a potential brief which people were looking at as well as executing, which is exciting. But to get back to the point, how I've kind of like grown over the years, I think honestly it's the repeated exposure to team projects does a lot of good. As that's really the hardest thing, is when you get into your first team project, you're having to learn these things about agile, which is our development practice that we're taught in first year, and then we're essentially guided with through the rest of it. And you're having to learn all these different aspects of teamwork, how to work together, how when you have issues,
How do you resolve them?
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
exactly, got to use empathy.
Empathy.
But so yeah, it's like conflict resolution, and also sometimes it's not even a conflict, it's just two people have a different idea. Like what's quite useful is Harvey and I think have quite a similar perspective on the narrative of the game, and we're the people dealing with most of the writing of it. Whereas then all the other artists are kind of going, okay, we trust you guys with this because we don't really know a ton about.
Yeah.
Just
like-
tell us what to do. Tell
Yeah.
us what to make, and we'll do it basically, kind of thing.
Very
Sometimes.
grateful for that.
Absolutely, but they've also got some incredible sources of inspiration themselves.
Yeah.
Like some of the work they come out with and different inspiration pieces. They go, take a look at this. Are incredible.
Yeah, it's really good.
No, honestly, it does sound really cool. So one bit of a personal, one more question before we wrap up. But what kind of got you? Start with you, Isaac. What got you into making games design in general? Like, did you kind of grow up playing video games and you're like, oh, I really just want to make video games, or was there kind of
I think I think I'm a very creative person at my core. I think the way I tend to describe myself recently is I feel like I have the, like, what was it? I think I've got the heart of an artist, but the mind of a designer. Like, so I really love just working and creating things. I start getting quite in my own head if I haven't got some sort of creative process as an outlet. And I think it was partially due to that. And quite frankly, I came out of a really bad project management job of like a year before uni. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I need to pivot. I was like, I'm going to go do something I enjoy, get some experience. Like, because I'd done project management stuff before. It's like kind of helping produce projects, making projects, improve my development skills. Because I can program and do all these things,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're not my...
yeah?
I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, we've talked about you a bit and your talents, your many talents. It's quite a good role for you. Kind of bring all your skills into one. As a game lead designer. It's
Honestly,
really good for
it just was like being a dungeon master.
Yeah,
Like my 5 years of like running
exactly,
D&D
yeah.
games every week. It's
really
like
good.
I just walk into a session. I'm like, all right, so
Yeah, it's
You bring,
great.
it, you bring this kind of like aura
yeah.
when you come into the room.
Yeah.
What was it for you, Harvey?
What about you, Harvey? Yeah.
What got me into games?
Like just like who know, like just why do you love making games, for example, so much? And
Ooh, I mean,
Or-
the answer I could give you that was on my personal statement to get into uni was that games bring all the art forms together into one. Yeah, but I don't.
but what's your
I don't
real reason?
I don't know. To be honest, I only recently, in the last like 6 months, actually fell back in love with games. I
Yeah.
fell out of love with games a lot at the start of uni. I think because I don't know, got burnt out maybe, but I'm glad I'm back in love with them. And I think it genuinely probably is that actually that it's music and art and level design and all of this amazing stuff coming into one thing. And it's just cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
stuff.
I think we're both just a bit scatterbrained. We're like, we can do anything.
Yeah,
you can
it's
make
far too
any
much to
kind of
do.
video game. What the hell?
I know.
One more question actually? What are your guys' favorite games? Just all times. If you could just play one game for the rest of your life.
Oh, it has to be Minecraft, surely.
I think
They
if,
can't
if,
really-
if it's one
Yeah,
game,
one game
it's
has to be
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
But
There's
if we're
no
talking
way.
about my favorite, like I've got like 3 contenders which sit in top. It's Breath of the Wild. That just had such an impact on me when I like played it in secondary school. Like it was secondary school, college
I
era.
actually played that.
When I played Breath of the Wild, you could just look around and any way you could see, you could be like, I can climb that, I can go there. I know I can touch this map. Essentially every corner of this map, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed 2, fundamental game for me. And honestly, I think Minecraft is up there as well.
It has to
Yeah.
be, yeah. God, I love.
But
yeah.
there's so many.
I think there's so many good games of all different genres. Obviously, it depends kind of what genre you're in. You enjoy.
My big pick is a game called Machinarium, which is about a little Polish tiny robot guy that has to save his long lost love, and he goes into this big toy town full of oily barons and gamblers, and it's really cute, and it's like a little, I think, pencil drawn
I love
little
that.
puzzle game. It's
That
really
sounds
cute.
like a game you love.
It's so good. It's really good.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well,
What's your favorite game?
my favorite game? Oh, I mean,
Well, the amount I hear you playing CS:GO for the Wolves.
I mean, I've got different games, different like genres. I think if I had to go for a story game, like either Ghost of Tsushima, because I just love. I'm really into like Japanese, and not even just forget that like the story itself is just really good. And then if I want to like say competitive, because I also feel like I'm quite a competitive gamer. I think my heart.
You're an esports student and you're a competitive gamer. I
What the
never
hell?
have believed
What the-
it.
I think my heart would have to say, as much as I don't play it anymore, is growing up. Probably like Tom Clancy, Rainbow Six, because that's like that kind of got me into competitive gaming. Like to this day, I'm kind of enjoying. Been playing a bit of Overwatch recently, and I'm kind of enjoying that. I can't lie, but But no, either put Ghost of Tsushima or when I was growing up, The Simpsons Hit and Run.
Oh,
That
Oh,
game,
classic.
that was the children's GTA 5
Throwback.
basically.
Sorry, this is an absolute like. Did anyone remember Asterisk and Obelisk, the game on PS2?
Not the game. That's a game.
Yeah. Oh, bro. I used to like have an old CRT TV in my bedroom. I remember like being up to like 1, 2 a.m. as like an 8-year-old playing Asterisk and Obelisk. My mum being in like coming in being like, "Why are you still playing?
Dude,
It's 2 a.m."
That sounds amazing.
It was sick.
I had
I love those guys.
growing up, I had a DS or a PSP, so like it was like you're on your game at like 1:30 in the morning, and I can hear
And you had it below the pillow.
footsteps of like my mum or dad coming up, and they always come and check, and then it's like, and you got
Under the
high and
pillow.
pretend you're asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
Have you seen the new Asterisk and Obelix show on Netflix? And it's like
What?
it's really good, and it's like it's animated like the Spider-Verse movies, and it's unbelievable. Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure if
really
anyone's
good.
listening, this is why you've come for the Asterisk
Yes.
and Obelisk.
Yeah,
yeah,
It's so good, man.
Oh, I need to look at
Get
that.
onto it. Get onto it.
definitely. But I think that's all we have time for.
Yeah.
But thank you guys.
Of course, thank
Thank
you.
you guys so much for being here.
Of course.
I hope you've enjoyed.
And thank you,
yourself.
crew, as well.
Thank you, crew.
Yeah, thanks to the crew.
Well done, guys.
No, thank you guys at home for watching so far. We do have one more team after this, Booze and Brews. But for now, we'll see you guys shortly. Thank you guys once again for being here. I
Thank
hope
you.
you've
Thank
enjoyed
you.
yourself.
Yeah. It's
And
amazing.
I'll see you guys in February when we
Hell yeah.
when we catch up.
Yeah.
And have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you, everyone.
That's good.